Hey everyone, welcome to another beta overview video, and today we got the actual Nether update on Bedrock Edition. That's right, we have version 1.16.0.51 on Bedrock Edition, and if you are wondering what happened to 1.15, 1.15 is officially being skipped. So that was the upcoming Parity update, but turns out they are absorbing all of the changes made in 1.15 and they're going to release it along with 1.16. So that means we'll have to wait a little longer for better iron farms, maybe probably some months, and for the Nether update as well, but that also means we get to keep cool features such as gravity block stacking longer. But yeah, outside of that, let's get into all of the changes. Well, not all of them, because you probably know about most of the Nether update already, but I'm just going to give you a general overview of what's new. Alright, so first off, let's take a look at the obvious, all of the new Nether blocks. Now, we don't have all of the new Nether blocks yet. For example, we don't have the twisted vines yet, because the Bedrock devs still have to catch up to what the Java devs had done, so the twisted vines are not a thing yet among some other things, like soul speed enchantment. But yeah, we have pretty much all of the crimson and the nylium blocks, so as you can see, they're all here, all of the wooden blocks, and yeah, the weeping vine and stuff. We have the grass cover and all that. We also have what it seems to be a Bedrock exclusive, is the polished basalt. Well, at least that's what I've been told. I haven't checked on the Java snapshot yet, but apparently those don't exist on Java, and they only have the normal basalt. So yeah, that's weird. I thought they were saying they wouldn't do exclusives anymore, but apparently we have that. They're probably also gonna add the Java though. But yeah, we have all of these blocks, and a few of them have functionality that is special to them. For example, soul soil has blue fire, etc. And of course we have the soulfire lantern and soulfire torches, which do scare piglins, but we'll get into that later. We also have the new notorious netherite block and all the netherite items, which for some weird reason does not activate the beacon, even though the beacon does have access to the sky, because normally it does. I tested with other blocks, but the netherite blocks seem to completely get ignored by the beacon. Anyways, we got all of the other items, which is of course the Age debris, block of netherite, netherite ingot, the netherite scrap, and all of that stuff. We have the armor, which I am wearing right now, except for the chest plate, which gives you all the same bonuses as in Java Edition. We got all of the tools. And one funny thing I've noticed about the netherite items is that instead of just floating on the surface, they make some weird dance in lava, so they just bounce around. The next change is that we can summon the Wither with mixed soul soil and soul sand, or completely soul sand, or completely soul soil, doesn't matter. I'm not gonna do it right now, right here, because of course that would be a kind of a problem for the rest of this little setup here. However, we have some new mobs. Well, we have two new mobs and one that has been changed, and the piglins have some special properties. The second new mob is the Hoglin, and that Hoglin is indeed aggressive towards you, just like Java Edition I believe, and the piglins are too, but one thing I've noticed is that these two don't have any sounds at the moment. Plus if you kill them, it only does the player sound, which is kind of weird. Does the same for the Hoglin. Also, we now have the zombified piglin, which is basically just the zombie pigman, which we all know and love, and it's pretty much only a retexture, apart from a bug with it that I'm going to go into later, but we'll keep it at that now. So yeah, I definitely do like the new texture. It keeps its originality and pays homage to the original, but yeah, still looks fresh. So the piglins and hoglins of course are indeed scared of these soulfire lanterns, torches, and of fire on top of soul soil. You can see now it's running away erratically. Didn't seem like it did before, maybe it just takes a while. Yeah, it does seem like their behavior is a little slow, but they do after a while. It's definitely not because they're on top of the glass, that's not the issue. Let's try it out here. Yeah, okay, yeah. Maybe it's just the glass. But yeah, it definitely does scare them. Not sure what's up with those. Yeah. Piglins also seem very lured to golden items, which is of course something that was already known. So yeah, they definitely do run towards them and they do pick them up. I believe a clock works too. Does it? Doesn't seem to, whatever. But yeah, it does seem that they are attracted by most golden items, and piglins do barter with you like they do in Java Edition. But right now their loot table seems a little limited and stuff. So if you right click, they will only give you obsidian and flint and steel. And if you throw them the items, they will only give you nether blocks. Yeah, that seems like the case, which is a little weird, but of course that's not intended, so they're probably going to tweak the loot table. It means we will have farmable quartz and stuff, but no, it does not seem that you can scam them like you could in the early Java snapshots, which is, I don't know, kind of sad, but you know, it's kind of overpowered anyway, and we have our overpowered gold farms. Also, the fact that they do barter flint and steel means that we have renewable flint and steel, which is actually kind of good, so that way we don't have to waste iron for gold farms, because in some worlds fire tick is off, so that is very useful for these worlds instead of the lava lighting systems, which is pretty much the most commonly used system for advanced gold farms. Piglins do also attack hoglins when they are in larger numbers, and there also seems to be a feature where they dance after they successfully killed the hoglins. Now I am having trouble reproducing this right now. I've had it happen before, but I will show you a little clip of Kenneth Do that managed to do it, and it's kind of funny. You know, they are T-posing, they are asserting their dominance, and oh, there we go. Attacking. I guess they're just attacking it. Are they also gonna dance or something? No? No dance. Well, too bad. But yeah, they do dance sometimes, which is kind of funny. But yeah. Alright, I am back in the overworld to demonstrate some other changes from this update, and one is notably the target block, which is right now locked to experimental gameplay, because it does seem to have some inconsistencies across platforms. That is what they have said, but it pretty much works as you would expect. You just throw some projectile towards the center, and then, depending how close it is to the center, it gives off a certain signal strength, and yeah. You definitely have to aim well, and sometimes the projectiles are random, but if you're lucky enough you can get the full signal strength. But otherwise, about this block, there's not much of the properties you see in Java Edition, so if you move it, it does not keep any of its power or something, and yeah. It does redirect redstone dust, but unfortunately it does not power other blocks through it, which is sort of a bummer, because, you know, if we had a block that would redirect dust and also power stuff other than torches, because pistons do indeed do that, they redirect dust, sort of, and power torches, that would be cool, especially if we had like something that could power repeaters through it, but nope, that is not the case, unfortunately. Now this next one is a change we also had in Java Edition, and this is that walls do not have any more of these when there is no block above them. And as you can see, you can indeed use them to transfer signals down. However, it is not instant like it is in Java Edition. So you can make a funny wave effect with it, I guess, which looks kind of funny, but yeah. Bummer that it's not instant, but it's still a very nice new way to transfer signals down, especially since it's redstone-less and stuff. And yeah, it can indeed be detected by observers, which is also pretty nice. Now, it wasn't very clear before, but now they have made it pretty clear, as seen right here in the changelog, and that is that gravity block stacking is officially being removed. So this feature we loved and really cared about is completely gone, unfortunately, which kind of sucks, but I guess we can live without it. Next up, the big change for technical players is the addition of a new despawning system. How previously mob despawning worked is that mobs needed to be further than 54 blocks away and need a light level higher than 7 and not have gained persistence, and then they would despawn. The 1.16 beta introduces new and changed despawning rules that are not quite perfect. So the new spawning and despawning looks like this. From right here, from the armor stand, to the green circle, so like this is 0 to 23 blocks, no mobs will spawn. In fact, if another spawning sphere area from another player is present within, those spawns will get blocked. That is from testing that we have done. From the green to the yellow circle, which is 24 to 31 block radius, mobs will spawn normally and no despawning will occur. And from the yellow to the orange circle, which is 32 to 54 blocks, mobs will indeed spawn as well, but there will be new special despawning rules, and that is there is a 1 in 800 chance every game tick, so that is 1 in 820 times per second, that a mob will despawn if it hasn't gotten any damage in the last 30 seconds. Now that despawning is okay, but the real deal comes here. Anything further than 54 blocks away from any player, so that means that radius goes around all players in the area. Anything further than that will instantly despawn mobs that have not gained persistence, or some other mobs like chokers and ender dragons and all that stuff. Yeah, they will just be deleted, which at first does sound really good, but there is a glaring issue with this. As you may know, spawning and despawning are a sphere. Now, I did show this in a form of a circle around you, but this works spherical for you. So if you are in the air, it will be a big ball around you, and it will work in all directions. That means that mobs also despawn vertically. That sounds of course good, but there is a massive problem. The fact that they despawn instantly means that mob grinders that use fall damage may completely be broken. For example, this is my mob grinder, and as you can see, the mobs, they start falling and then they despawn mid-air, which is very problematic because, well, the mob farms will be completely disabled, and that kind of sucks. So I think this system is not good as it is, but thankfully me and some exploit members came up with a suggestion on how we could fix this problem. The fix to this problem would be that spawning does indeed stay a sphere, but despawning works in a vertical cylinder, so that means that the safe area would be a cylinder, and anything vertically would despawn, and that would indeed fix that issue among some other things. And yeah, that would be indeed the perfect fix for this despawning, and then this despawning would be complete and we would all love that. So there is a tweet from me in the description, and there also is a feedback post, although at the time of recording this video the feedback post is pending approval, because approval is very slow and painful to get on the feedback website. But if you'd be so kind, you could upvote that feedback post if it is already available for you, and you can also retweet that tweet in the description to spread the awareness, and yeah. Other than that, this despawning is pretty good, although personally I don't see much use in the 32 to 54 despawning rule. Probably just better if they instantly despawn further than 54 blocks away, but if they decide to keep that, that wouldn't break everything. Oh, and by the way, instant despawn further than 54 blocks away also breaks a lot of enderman farms, so yeah, let's not do that. Alright, let's get back on some of the other stuff. So the little bug I was talking about with zombified piglins is, well, pretty simple. They kind of burn in daylight, which is weird, but yeah, I don't really know why they do that. But yeah, I mean, they are undead mobs, but in Java Edition they do not do that, and they also didn't do that before the update. Oh, and piglins start shaking when they are in the overworld, and over time they will convert into zombified piglins. There. And they also start burning. Ouch. So the most burning questions you probably have is what still works in this update. And yes, the pigman form still works, or I guess now it's a zombified pigman form. It works pretty much exactly the same, except, well, now zombified piglins apparently burn in daylight. So they will start burning very briefly, but then they will land in the water. And down there they get killed fast enough by the triangular anyway to not die from daylight first. And yeah. So it's pretty cool that that still works. And obviously, since this farm still works, Trident Killers still work as well, and that is pretty cool. What also still works this update is all of the sand-based Xertic farms, so that is pretty cool. That one works as well. The cactus indeed does work just fine, as you can see it grows, and then also goes into there. Since water and moving blocks and piston arms change in this update, you may experience some problems with kelp, but I will probably release fix videos on that, so you can expect working versions in the future. But my 4-in-1 Xertic farm does seem to work fine with kelp. As you can see, it does produce kelp, so it seems like only the right timing is needed between the top piston and the bottom piston. And yeah, all of the other parts work as well. The cactus works, the bamboo works, and the sugarcane works. So with all of that done, that is pretty much the most important changes that have occurred in the 1.16 Nether update Bedrock beta. Now I hope you enjoyed this video very much, and I hope that I covered most of the stuff that is important. And if you think there's anything I missed, let me know in the comments. And make sure to subscribe, because I keep interesting content like this coming on a regular basis, and you know, awesome farms like this one you see behind me. So yeah, definitely subscribe, check out my other videos, and yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. Bye!